Greetings, folks. Dice Kitty here, and I have my new comic box recap ready for this week. It is January 29th. Yes, sorry, my brain just blanked on the date. January 29th, 2020. Alright, so first up this week, I picked up some one-shots just because they're about characters that I like. The End, Captain Marvel, is a number one. It's one shot, I assume. Man, I love this cover art. I don't know if you can see it very well with this camera, but boy, it is pretty. And then as soon as the book opens and starts, gorgeous art. So the artwork throughout this entire book is wonderful. I love it. It's all very well done. Easy to follow panels, you know, that transition well. Love the art. It's absolutely gorgeous. Story-wise, oh boy, did I love this story. Spoiler alert. Let me make sure I put that in there. Some folks were not happy that I didn't put a spoiler alert at the beginning of my last comic box recap. So, if you're not familiar with these videos, they're a recap of the books I've read that particular week and what I thought about them. Okay, so this story is basically about the end. It's the end of Captain Marvel. So, you know, she's out in space doing her own thing, and she's sad because she didn't make it back to Earth and something blew up the Earth and, well, didn't blow it up, but killed all life on the Earth. And she gets a signal that's calling the Avengers back to Earth. And so she goes back and she finds out that not everybody died. But it's been so long that everybody is pretty much gone except for their kids. So, like, Spider-Woman's kid, Rogue and Gambit's kid, who else is here? Danny Rand and, Misty Knight, Rhodey, and I'm not sure who Rhodey hooked up with, but, because it doesn't really say, I don't think, unless I missed it. But yeah, I mean, everybody's kids are there, they're grown. They're trying to survive on the new Earth. And Carol's just happy to be back. Well, it's very emotional because they tell her that the sun is dying. And she sacrifices herself to basically recharge the sun and give them another chance. Beautiful story. Beautiful art. Loved it. Okay. Next. Doctor Strange, The End. This is the other one shot. I think it's, yeah. It's the other one shot I picked up this week. Similar thing. It's the end of Doctor Strange. It follows his journey to collect the remnants of sorcerers and you know, magic users and stuff. Because he's throwing their remains, which are still magical, into this cauldron, trying to reinvigorate magic. Well, it's another story of self-sacrifice. He has to sacrifice himself to keep magic alive. And in doing so, Magic, the character, comes back, and she is now Sorceress Supreme. And it's touching. It's a good story. I like it too. I think between the two of these, my favorite is Captain Marvel's because it has a little bit more meaning to it. Probably a little bit more like realistic meaning. Yes, it's all magic, it's all superheroes, all fake, but her self-sacrifice was to keep the world alive. His, boy, did it fit him, because Doctor Strange is egotistical. He wants to keep magic alive because magic stays alive. He stays alive because he's still a ghost. Alright, moving on. This is a third book from Marvel. I had quite a few Marvel books this week. Doctor Strange, Surgeon Supreme. I don't think I even did a written article about the first one of this. I was a little iffy about it because a friend of mine and I were talking about how he has his ability back to, be a surgeon. His hands are healed. Well, he's got a pick now. Or so we thought. And even Bats the dog, the ghost dog, my favorite secondary character in all of Doctor Strange, Mark Waid, why you do, but he totally just doesn't even put Bats in anything, and then he just kind of ships him off with Zelma. Okay, fine, whatever. But so anyway, Surgeon Supreme, he has this deal worked out. He can go and be a surgeon, doesn't use magic when he does it because magic comes at a cost. And so he's afraid that his patients will have to pay the cost. So that's why he doesn't use it. But he also is Sorcerer Supreme. So when he's not healing people medically, he's out saving the world with magic. In Surgeon Supreme, that's pretty much how it all goes down. Well, in the first number 1 issue of this, he gets beat down really, really bad by Wrecker with some kind of new crowbar thing. And I was like, oh boy, how's he going to get out of this one? Well, he gets out of it because he's always got a backup plan. He finds out that, who's this guy? I can't remember his name. And he says his name. Dr. Druid. I don't know why I can't remember who he is. But anyway, he's not dead. He's back. Okay. I mean, nobody stays dead in comics, just so you know. He's now kind of over the hospital where Strange works at. Well, Wrecker's not the only one he's got to worry about. He's got to worry about Thunderball now. They both have these magical weapons, which he figures out that are not their weapons that they had before. They're new weapons. And somebody's supplying weapons to people. And Strange is like, well, I want to know who it is. Okay, I'm digging the story. So, Wade, I'm not disappointed in the story, but please throw Bats in on occasion. I know he's not with Doctor Strange now. He's living with Zelma now, but Scotty Young is writing Strange Academy. There's a little preview for it in here. The first thing I did, because Bats is with Zelma, first thing I did, scanned every page. Haven't read a single word out of here. Scanned through every page, and I'm double checking just to be sure. But I looked pretty close at this. There's no Bats. Guess what I'm not reading? Strange Academy. I know that sounds silly, but if you folks understood how much that character means to me, a silly little ghost dog. I'm not reading Strange Academy. If somebody does end up reading it and sees Bats in one of the issues, let me know, because I'll pick up that issue. But as far as Surgeon Supreme goes, it's on number 2. That was new this week. Number 1 and number 2 have both been good. I like the way it's going. And I look forward to more. So, good stuff. Not, oh my god, amazing, but it's good stuff. Now, from Dark Horse, we have Invisible Kingdom. This is number 9. I'm going to breeze through this one real quick because there's not just a ton of stuff that stands out in this one. I started off loving Invisible Kingdom, and now I like it, but I don't love it. So, Grix, I used to like Grix. Grix is starting to get on my nerves because she keeps doing dumb stuff. And a lot of these characters, I'm going to use the pronouns that I think apply to them. If it's a wrong pronoun, somebody please tell me, because I don't want to use the wrong one, but I mean, it's hard to tell sometimes, and they don't make reference very much. So, I will try to use they and them a lot, but Grix, I'm pretty sure, is a female. So, but yeah, she's getting on my nerves. I'm tired of Vess being as mopey as she is. I mean, she just needs to, like, I don't know, I feel like she needs to just get over it and talk to Grix about stuff. But there's a moment where they're trying to get back to the Sundog, which was hijacked. Grix is self-sacrificing, and Vess is like, hold up. And this may be the moment that I'm wanting. She connects with Grix, and last thing we see is Grix flying out into space. We'll find out what happens next time, hopefully. Okay, now, I'm excited about this one. Okay, so I'm super excited about this. I do not have any more comics for this week's recap beyond this one, the Star Trek Picard Countdown number 3. So if you don't want spoilers because you're watching Picard or because you plan to read these yourself, if you don't want spoilers, please tune out now. This is the last book for this week's recap. Not going to hurt my feelings if you tune out. Alright, about to start on this one. Star Trek Picard Countdown. Love the cover art. I love the interior art. Most Star Trek books, like comic books, have this similar art style. And I love it. I mean, it fits. I don't know why. It just does. So, if you've been reading this, or you've read my recaps prior to me doing the videos, then you kind of have an idea of what's going on in here. Picard's trying to evacuate a settlement, and I am desperately trying to remember the name of it. I cannot remember. There's a whole lot of stuff that goes on, so a whole lot of new names, and I forget things. It's kind of like the governor's name. I can't remember her name either, and I feel really bad about that. But, so anyway, Picard's trying to evacuate the entire population of sentience off of this colony, and the governor is being very speciesist because there are Romulans there, and then there's this other group of individuals who are not Romulan, and she wants the Romulans taken from the planet, evacuated first, or only. Because she basically says that they're not worth saving or whatever, and she's very mean and cold-hearted. But anyway, the Tal Shiar had embedded agents there, and the governor had taken Picard captive. The Tal Shiar agents helped him escape, and then we're in this book now. She is taking control of the Verity, which is Picard's ship in this particular point in time. She's tried to take control. She hasn't got complete control. Picard's crew takes the ship back, and they transport her to the brig. So her plans are foiled, but the Tal Shiar tries to get their 2 agents to blow up the Verity, and they take a stand against the Tal Shiar because they realize that Picard is doing exactly what they want to do, and so they want to follow him, and he offers them sanctuary, I guess is what you'd call it. But okay, I thought that was her name there, but it's not. I promise, I read this book. I've read all 3 of them. It's just, I don't remember new names. It takes me a little bit to remember. It's just like the 2 Romulans in here. I think it's Zaban or Zabon. I'm pretty sure they said his name in the show, and I don't remember how it's said. So that, like I said, until I get used to them, I don't remember. But it's Laris and Zaven, I think is how it's said. But anyway, yeah, they're the two agents, and they're like, no, we're going to follow Picard, sorry. And the Romulan Senate basically takes the governor, which again, I cannot remember her name. But they take the governor. Oh, there's the settlement's name. Uyat? Uyat? Y-U-Y-A-T. Uyat Beta. I think that's how it's said. I'm not good at pronouncing these things. So, not until I've heard them said a few times. But anyway, yeah, so love the book. And I love this background information. There's a couple of things. If you have not seen Picard, I'm going to give you a warning now. I'm about to drop some spoilers from the show. Don't get mad at me. Mars. Geordi's on Mars. Is Geordi dead? Like, you know, that's terrifying to me. I'm afraid that Geordi's dead. I don't like that idea. That's the only spoiler I'm gonna drop. So, aside from that, I want to know if she's related to Sela. Because I don't know of any other blonde Romulans other than Sela. But that doesn't mean that there aren't any. It doesn't mean that Romulans aren't naturally blonde and dye their hair black. I'm just saying. I think she's related to Sela. And nobody's talking about it. Anyway, alright, well that's it for this week's comic box recap. Let me know what you think about the books if you've read them as well. Let me know what you're reading. Live long and prosper and glory for the Empire. Qapla'!